Hello everyone, this is Selkek, also known as Paul Elia, and welcome back to Garry's Mod. We are here on GM Construct E Flat Grassy version 6-2 or whatever. And so there's been what's this? Oh, this is new. Oh, there's been it's changed. Let's see what happens. 1E. Oh, interesting. I'm not sure what this section of track is for. Wouldn't trains derail here? Oh. Is there any other changes to the map? Let's see. Water is the same. This thing is the same. Yeah, no, it looks like pretty much the same map, but they added that thing. Interesting. Okay. I knew there was an update because it downloaded a thingy, but I didn't know what had been updated. Anyway, I'm going to be building in this room. Not the creepy dark room. Right here. Creepy dark room. But this room. So, you guys left a lot of comments of things you wanted me to talk about and build with and stuff like that. And so I've decided that this video, I'm going to try to take a couple of the suggestions and kind of put them together. So, what I'm mainly going to be focusing on, though, is the Stargates. So, I'm going to switch on over to the Stargate tabs. There we go. Okay, now, let's get set up. I'm feeling Atlantis-y. I think I'm feeling Atlantis-y. But first we need, where are the ramps? Rampy ramps. Let's go with an animated ramp for giggles. Are there any better non-animated ramps? We want it to look cool while we're building. Let's just use this one. This is fine. Actually, you know what? We're not even going to do a ramp. Bam. Atlantis. Okay. So, the Stargates are pretty simple. Let's call this Construct. For Construct. And it's a Pegasus gate. And we're going to name this Construct. Beep. Local. What's this? I'm trying to read these tooltips. Block addresses color in red cannot be clicked. Private Stargates are unsuitable. This is to be called. Interesting. So if you're admin, you can set up like this Stargate won't appear on anybody's lists, and it can't be dialed or anything like that. Okay, so there we go. We've got Construct is a gate, and it's a Pegasus gate. So out here, okay, now let's use an animated ramp for out here. Let's go with the SG1 animated, and it's not gonna make any sense, but it'll look cool. And let's slap an Atlantis gate inside of it because why not? With the gates or with the ramps, both the animated and the non-animated, they are in fact entities. When you spawn them with the tool, you can find them just like the models for them and spawn the models. But if you spawn them with the tool, they're entities, and then if you just look at them and spawn a Stargate, it puts the Stargate perfectly in the ramp. And I believe that if we switch over to wire and go to wire advanced, the ramps, the animated ramps, have stuff they can do. So the Stargate SG1 can play an activation alarm and can produce smoke. So I'm gonna say smoke on active, because why not? Okay, now we need to set the properties of this gate, and let's call this one grass 12. You can't have repeats. It doesn't work if you have repeats, and we'll call this one grass. And we'll save it. And so you can see here, look, oh, there's this. But it doesn't dial. Why doesn't it dial? Well, those of you familiar with the show will know that Stargates require a power source, and the most common power source to use is a DHD. But the DHD is a power source, and it's what you can input the commands of your Stargate. You're not really supposed to go up and just use the menu. That's considered a little bit cheaty in terms of like how the Stargates are supposed to function. So let's spawn in the Atlanta style home device. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. I was just thinking about it. And if you look on it, there's all sorts of squiggles. Those squiggles are star constellations because Stargates go between planets in reality. But for Garry's mod, you see it's got the alphabet and the numbers on it. And the pound symbol is the home. So we want to go in there. So we want to go to Conster. So let's just con. And you can see it's lighting up. And there's smoke coming out of it. That's great. Conster. So I've typed in Conster. If I were to hit the middle button, nothing would happen. You can see that the pound sign, however, is drawing my attention. So I will pound sign it. Boom. Now I've locked in the full coordinates. I can hit the middle button. And we're good to go. Oh, something is creating script errors. Well, that's not good. I guess Stargates are a little bit broken. But they seem to be working just fine. So, this will remain open just for a little bit. If it doesn't have anything going through it, nothing will happen. There's this disable auto close, which will just keep the Stargate open until you disable it yourself. You can disable the menu access, so that's good. You can turn lights on. See, these have the lights on them, and then it doesn't actually spin. And you can give it dial. But we'll go through here. It should shut off. Yep, there it goes. It's detected. I went through. Nothing followed me, so it's done. So let's set up. Let's go over here a bit, and let's get a Destiny console. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, so Destiny console is great because it has all these extra wire features. So let's see if I can remember. Okay, so over here, this is the DHD. If you pop those open, you get the DHD cheaty menu. Over here, however, we have buttons 1 through 8, A and B, and the screen itself can hold 8 different values. So that's great. And the buttons are toggle, and they light up, and they make cool noises. So let's say I wanted to come in here, and I wanted to set disable auto close to number 1. So if I push this, auto close is now disabled. So let's wire up a value to be, let's just say chevron, so we can watch this number go up. Likewise, though, I also want to turn on the ring light to 2, so that I can do this. Boop. Oh, it's so pretty. It lights up. Okay. So let's open this menu and double click at this. So you can see this number now. The Stargate's rather loud. Is going up every time one of the chevrons locks in. And so you'll notice, though, when I typed it in on the DHD itself, I pushed the button. And, oof. Okay, so I pushed the button, and it just like lit up, and it was automatically assigned to that value. That's, if you go here, this checkbox right here. If checked, it dials the Stargate like a DHD. If unchecked, it dials like a dialing computer. So the difference there comes from the TV show. So on the TV show, us people here on Earth, we found a Stargate, but we did not have one of these. And so we built a computer system that would dial the Stargate force. And you can see the disable auto close is still active. So if I run over here real fast, push the button, and then jump through, it should shut off. There it goes. So the people of Earth did not find one of these with our Stargate. So we had to build a computer system that tapped in and activated the Stargates functions remotely. And the only way we could get ours to dial was if it took this long process. Ours uses the SG-1 Stargate model, this one, where it actually like has to spin, and it spins so the symbol is lined up to the thing, and it shunks, and it lights up, and it has to go around and it has to do this thing, and it takes a while. But with these, you know, you just start pushing buttons like that, and you can see, bam, it's all lit up. Look at that. So that's the difference between the two dialing methods. Traditionally, only the dial home devices themselves would dial quickly, and that if you were, say, going to cheat and use the menu, you would leave this unchecked just to add a bit of realism or whatever. You don't have to. I'm just throwing out personal preferences. Okay. So that is a pretty simple and straightforward setup. But if we look at the gate, there's this thing called a dial string. So why don't we come out here under wire and grab ourselves a constant value chip, and our constant value will be a string, and let us set this string to be grass 12. So string, not Q, grass 12. Okay, and we'll just let's just put everything here on the wall so that we can see it. Okay, so there we go, grass 12. So I'm going to wire advanced, dial string to grass 12, and start string dial to A. So if I come over here and push A, it's dialing, but I haven't given it any, I haven't used the menu or anything. This is crazy. Unfortunately, it is set into the wrong dial mode. It's in slow dial mode there. Okay, and we'll pop on through. Look at that, it worked. Okay, we'll turn off. Whoosh. Okay, so see, that worked pretty well. Let's set this up so that dial mode is bound to 8. So if we turn 8 on and then push it, it goes much, much faster. That is the DHD dial mode. It just does a very short beam, 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 and it goes, and then we can pop on through. Yes, I know the Stargates are creating errors. Thank you for telling me. So that, in a nutshell, is the very, very basics of using Wiremod with Well, okay, there's also this close button. Let's do close on B. So if we tap A. Oh, excuse me. Tap A. Dials up. But let's say, we don't want that. Let's close it. Easy as that. Okay. Now then, adding things to your Stargate themselves. Probably the most important thing you want to do is get yourself an iris. In this case, I'm going to be using a Stargate Atlantis shield, but it'll be basically the same thing. Unfortunately, it comes with button toggles. I'm not sure if you can disable those, or we just assign them and forget about them. So bazoom. So now there is a shield there on this Stargate. I want to go to Wire Advanced, and there's supposed to be a way you can. Let's first 8. B and C. It must not like my lack of true power supply. Let's try plopping one of these down. Nope. Oh, and you can also see the DHD also has, you can tell it to press a button. You can disable the menu. If you just come up to the DHD and do that, you can access the menu. And you can also force DHDs to dial in super slow mode, which is ridiculous. Oh, you know what it is? It's because I've got this stuff enabled. Bet you anything. Okay, let's try something here. Let's go with a solar panel. We'll come out here to the sunshine. Large. Giant. Huge. Okay, we'll just spawn 2 of these giant solar panels. Okay, already full of energy, great. We want to do resource node. And we want to do a large node. And then we want to link. I want to set my link to 0 width. So there we go. There's some energy attached to them. We're gonna walk carefully, bring this inside. Storage device. So we're getting into a little bit of space build stuff, guys, just like you also wanted. Huge energy storage. Link tool. Bam, look at that. Okay, so now we're filling up with energy, and I'm pretty sure that we can also link the Stargate into that. And if I hit B, bam. But look, it's quickly draining the energy. Oh, I hit, there we go. So I'm gonna let that build up a little bit of energy. Am I still, no, let's get out the wire tool real fast, real fast. Boom, okay. Activate on 4. Okay. So, if you're using Spacebuild stuff, if you've got the energy and all that stuff in, all of the Stargate stuff will require energy. Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I can just spawn in one of these babies as well. And I'm pretty sure that will also, oh yeah, this counts as its own network. Okay. Stargate stuff. So these are ZPMs. As you can see, they contain a boatload of energy. I'm just going to attach 3 of them here to this pedestal. And, oops, I want to activate them. Activate. Okay, so now you can see that the energy of this is ridiculously large. The energy in this network is now maxed out. And if I walk over here and if I push 4, I activate my shield. And the energy in this does not drain, and you can see here the energy in this is draining, and it looks like it's draining rapidly, but if you watch that percentage, we've barely dropped 0.1% since turning on the shield. So ZPMs are a great power source if you're doing Stargate related stuff. They do eventually run out, so if you want to use something that's a bit more realistic, you can always pick an aqua generator. It doesn't generate as much energy, but it will generate some. And there's a couple of ZPM things you can have, etc. Anyway, the important part is now we have a shield on our Stargate. And just for demonstration purposes, for those of you who do not know what happens, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cheaty dial. Oh my god, so loud! So you can see that the big energy swoosh that comes out of Stargate didn't happen, and the shield is up. Now if I were to walk through this... Oh, what happened? Oh, I died! Yeah, that's right. If a shield is up on a Stargate, or if an iris is closed, it actually kills you. And let me come over here, and you can close a Stargate connection from either end. So that's pretty handy. So for example, here I'm gonna wire up a very stupid wire system here. So let me come in and let me close some of these that I don't really need. Okay, so let's say I come in here. I'm gonna just Oh, that is super small. I want one that you can actually see. Okay, that's good. And I want, let me scroll down. I want an arithmetic gate. Expand, please. And I want it to be add. Why not? Actually, let me do something else. I want a comparison gate that's checking equal. Okay, so look. If A is equal to B, then output 1. So let me wire, tool, advanced wire, A to be active, and I'm going to rewire close to be the output of this. So right now A and B are exactly the same. But let's say I have a constant value, and my constant value is a number, and my number happens to be 1. And then I go to wire advanced. It's very echoey standing right here. 1. So you can see Stargate Atlantis equal to value is 0. So they're not equal right now because this is not activated. So again, let's set it to open even. Okay. So if the Stargate is open, these two values will be equal. And it should. You know what? I'm gonna redo this. Okay, so A is open, and B is going to be inbound. I think this will work a lot better. So, just to show you what will happen, let's I forget what 8 was. Okay. Let me come over here, pop this open, it's checked. Okay, I'm gonna dial. So that's gonna go. So it's now open, but it's not inbound, so this is equal to 0. So this works just fine. So I'm gonna go through just fine. Wait for it to turn off. Now, if this is, okay, I'm gonna walk over here so you can see. So now this is an inbound Stargate. It's inbound. It's open. It's equal to 1. Oh, I see. Okay. I was trying to get it so that it would automatically close itself, but what happens is it sent the 1 for the close signal too early. And so it says it's open when it's doing the big flush vortex thing, but you can't close it when it's doing that because it's still in the process of opening. So what you could do is, with a more complicated wire setup than this, is detect if it's an incoming signal to the Stargate and just shut the gate off. Another thing you could do is let me pop this out. I'm gonna set this to toggle on 1. So if there's an incoming, it will pop out. Okay, so setting it to toggle probably isn't the best. You probably want to set it to active. Let me do that real fast. Okay. Clear toggle. Active is now set to the output of that. Okay. So let's try that. We'll walk over here. Oh, and for future reference, if you just push the middle button on a DHD, shuts the Stargate off. Okay, so the shield went off. Now if I dial in again, we've got an incoming, and the Stargate is active, so the shield turns on. But then you'd have to wire in additional complexity so that, let's say we get a radio signal that comes through the Stargate saying that, oh, we're allies, whatever. You want to be able to push the button and deactivate the shield so that you don't kill everyone. Which one did I thought one of these buttons. Oh, that's right. And as soon as the Stargate goes off, the shield goes off, so it does not drain your energy. So with that particular setup, anytime someone tries to dial into your Stargate, it'll activate your shield, and the moment your Stargate turns off, you'll be fine, and you can outgo all you want. And by outgo, I mean dial out. So I can dial this up and grab a grenade or something, you know, some other form of weaponry here, and just chuck a grenade on through. And well, I'm bombing my own base, but you get the point. I'm gonna bomb the solar panels now. Let's throw the one this way. Oh, did I blow up the solar panel? Nope, just got close. There. Yep. Let's roll one through. Okay, so that's another feature of the Stargate that you just saw there. If you shoot the Stargate with something, it flickers like that. And if you do it enough times, you can damage the Stargate. Alright, so the rocket launcher is a little bit buggy at the moment. So I'm going to show you something here. Let's spawn in another Stargate here, and we'll give this a name like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to grab myself a weapon here. Player weapon. And I'm going to grab myself like a staff weapon. And I'm just going to shoot at my Stargate. I'm shooting through the Stargate. Is it not powerful enough? Not powerful enough. How about an Ori staff weapon? Wow, they've huh. Okay, maybe it's that. You know, this used to be a lot easier. Darn it. Okay, let's try one of these bigger ones. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna have time to set up those. What I was trying to do is it is possible to put enough energy damage on the Stargate so that it causes the wormhole connection here to destabilize. And what you can get to happen is a few different things. Why is that all of a sudden active? Just go away for now. What you can get is a few different things. You can either blow out the DHD that is connected to a Stargate through the energy feedback, and the DHD will explode. The wormhole itself will destabilize, and you can actually get it to jump to a different Stargate. So, if I were to plant a bomb, let's say the Stargate was dialed to that Stargate, and I were to plant a bomb here, these two Stargates would become disconnected, and they would attempt to reconnect with other nearby Stargates. They couldn't reconnect with each other, so that's why I spawned that gate in, hoping that they would connect it through. Or it's possible that the gate could just explode, and that is a huge explosion. And I was hoping that the player-based weapons would be able to do it, but apparently not. So that is, I think, everything about the Stargates you need to know to get started. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this particular mod pack. I guess I could real quickly show you the other mode of transportation here, the rings, the ring platforms. You know, let me spawn ring ramps. Ring ramps will make this easier. Ring ramps. Okay. Bam. Ring, ring. Okay, and then I'll put one up here. Bam. Ring, ring. Okay, and these need names as well. So you can come up and you can name this ring numbers only. So I'm going to name this one 25. Okay, so the ad address is 25. And hop on down. Break my legs. It's okay. Man, I'm going to name this one 19. Just arbitrarily. And so you come up here and you're like, oh, look at this. 1 to 5. So if I go to 5 and hit dial, they float up. And I'm at 25. Look at that. Alternatively, you can just hit dial and it will call the closest pair of rings to you. And that is a live update. So you saw there that it chose that set of rings because they're like right below each other. But if I put a set of rings right next to them and hit dial, you can see that the rings are over there now, because these are now the closest. And rings also have the ability to, let me flip these upside down, and I'm going to name this 31, just arbitrarily. The different control pads have different amounts of numbers. So the one I'm using here only has the numbers 1 to 5. So if I go 31 and hit dial, you see those rings have dropped all the way down, so it puts me down here on the ground, even though the platform itself is way up there. So you can strap a pair of rings like this to the bottom of your ship. Here, let me build an example. Instead of just telling you about it, I'm going to build an example. I want general build. I'm going to get myself a big platform, and let's put this big platform like right up here. Perfect. So let's say here on my platform, I have a cool ring platform and Stargate, and I'll put myself a ring platform, and I'll give myself a different control panel. So as you can see, this control panel has the numbers 1 to 8 on it. I don't really need any specific control panel for this one because I'm not going to number them or anything. So let's say this is my spaceship. It's just a platform, I know, but pretend that it's my spaceship, and I've now got rings inside my spaceship. This is the inside, and I've got a set of rings strapped to the bottom of my spaceship. And so let's say I want to go down and explore this strange planet I'm on. Well, I can just step in here, push dial, and look at that. I'm down here and I'm on the surface. And so now you're going, but wait, how do I get back up? Why, with this, of course. Call nearest rings, or you can open a dial menu. So I can look up and I can dial those rings, or I can look up and just hit that. The rings will crush you to death. They can also, here, if I do this and hit dial, I'm now a dead pony. Let me zip back up there. Give myself another ring collar. Zip, 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 zip. Actually, there's this weapon called the Gold Hand Device, and it has push, whoosh. It has cook brain, rub, and it also has call nearest ring. So I can walk up, get myself about lined up, press it, and it calls the rings. Rings, you really have to know where to stand. It also can open ring menus if you want to be able to dial. So I can be like this, and I can dial, and I can be like, send me to rings 25, please. Choo, 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 choo. And so the reason they added, it works like that is from the TV show, of course, that they have the ability that the rings could just call the nearest closest rings. You don't need to know their address, nothing. You can just be like, send me to the next closest set of rings. Or you could punch in a number sequence and go to a very specific location, and they don't have that great of a range. I mean, I went from here to there. In the show, that you had to get your spaceships basically like right next to each other. Granted that the maps here in Garry's mod aren't super big. They don't have like a real limit or anything like that. But, you know, that's just, it's part of the suspending disbelief you're going to need if you wanted to seriously play with these in like a role-playing setting, for example, or whatever. But if you're just building with them, it'll be just fine. So, I'm going to show you personally one of my favorite things. I've showed them off before, but I figure it's a fun thing to end on. We're miscellaneous devices. Miscellaneous. I'm miscellaneousing. So, these are Kinos. And the Kino remote can control Kinos, it can control a Stargate, and it can control rings. So if I come up here and I dial, let's dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, I'm going to control this Kino. Now there is a glitch going on right now where you can't see me. I am standing right there. See, if I come out, I am standing right here. You just cannot see me. So I'm going to zip the Kino through. and the Kino will automatically turn around just to show you that, hey, there is a Stargate on the other side. Now the great thing about this is you can come over here and I can press Kino 1, and now I can see what the Kino is seeing without having to be in this menu. So other people can come up and they can also see what this Kino is seeing. I can't really demonstrate this, I would need a partner, but let's say I happen to fly this Kino around. It updates so you can see it moving there. This really updates. So I can be controlling this Kino, and the people who are at my Stargate base with me can also see what conditions are like on the other side. And I mean, I can be like, oh, look at this. Here's the DHD. It appears to be in working order. It's not broken or anything. Excellent. And the Stargate is here. It's not guarded. Let's go on through, guys. Huzzah! Etc., etc., etc. And you'll notice that the Kino did not trigger the Stargate's auto-close. It's people and significantly sized objects. So that's fun, right? I think you can just... Oh, if you... Screen, you can turn that back off. Now then, one last thing to try before we call it a video. So one of the things from the TV show is that as you're sticking things into the Stargate, they don't stick out the back. They just sort of disappear, and you have to stick things in all the way for them to go. And so there were versions of the Stargate that did this, but they were always glitchy. They sometimes didn't work, and so it's been kind of like off and on. And so this is more for me than it is for you, but I want to see how the Stargate reacts to having a long thing pushed into it. So let me stick this in here. Let's come around the back. Okay, it's gone, and I can walk. Oh, look at that. So I'm not clipping with that. I am clipping with this end. So if I let go of it, and you'll notice it's not sticking out the other end, because as I said, the whole thing has to go through before it will come shooting at the other end. And because I had stuck it in at such a weird angle, it clipped with the thing and it popped off. But let me set this over here. Let me just pick this up and bring this over here. You'll notice that it was embedded in the ground, and now that I've picked it up, it's not. So I'm gonna just tilt it at a funky angle, and I'm going to dial right next to myself. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. But so if I stick this in like this, give it a slight push so it just drifts straight through. On the other side, it comes out nice and smooth. Look at that. That is some proper coding. Anyway, this video is nearly 40 minutes long. 40 minutes of Stargate stuff, of wire stuff, of using Stargate stuff with wire stuff, with some Spacebuild energy stuff, with the ring platforms and all sorts of jazz. And so I hope you guys have learned a lot about this stuff. If you want me to talk about some of the other features of these mod packs, I can. But I think next video I'm just going to end up building something. People have been asking me to build submarines. Submarine sounds fun, especially if I have to add in air and energy and all that sort of stuff. Perhaps it could be a Stargate themed submarine. Who knows? People have also been asking me to build like a car that can fly, or a car that will turn into a boat, or like these multi-purpose vehicles or whatever. That's something we could do. And of course I'm gonna be wiring up controls for them, and I'm gonna try to include more life support and Stargate themed items because you guys seem to really like those. I might do a Spacebuild episode after the next episode. Maybe. We'll see. I'll think about it. But until then, guys, I will see you guys next time.